Well, from a young age, I've been bullied, mostly about my weight and my personality. So I was already really insecure. And in a way to let out my emotion, I started self-harming. And then I started getting a little bit better. And then at 10, my dad passed away, so that worsened my depression. And I just didn't know what to do anymore. I felt like I couldn't go with my emotions to my family, my brother or my mom, because every time I would get mad or sad and I tried to speak to them, I felt like they were just laughing at me. So I thought a better way would just to be kicking a wall, punching, bruising myself, pinching. Those were kind of my first methods before cutting actually happened. After my first incident with self-harming, it started progressing because I realized it was my effective way of letting out emotions. But then after a few years, I found alcohol and weed. It made me feel like a better person, like I was more accepted, like people would actually approach to me, talk to me, like I finally found friends. But in the end, I kind of become a slave to weed. I couldn't do without it. If I didn't have weed for even in my house, I'd have a complete panic attack. And so my mom, she didn't want to see me upset, so she'd do anything for me. So she'd even drive me to a coffee shop to get weed, just because she didn't want to see me sad. A panic attack for me, the one that I remember the most is probably the one that I had in my room. I didn't have any weed left, and I knew that my mom was not at a state to get me any. So I just started hyperventilating. I kind of lost control of my body. My heart was beating so fast, and I felt like I was going insane, completely insane. My only way to calm it was to cut, and then when I got out of that panic attack, I just found myself completely scarred up, not knowing what I've done to myself. I've kept on having panic attacks at school, and so my teachers thought that it would be a better choice if I'd go to a clinic to just first figure out my life, because I didn't feel like I had a reason to live anymore. My first impression was quite strange. I just came in and immediately everyone just walked up to me like I was immediately accepted into their family. And that was actually the most surprising to me because I didn't expect that at all. The fellows, they're all willing to help you. They have the same kind of story, and everyone kind of knows how you're feeling. Everyone's been there. It's just a family.
Myself, but it's okay.
Up top, Maxime, nice.
The most special moment here for my treatment, it was during my intervention with one of the counselors. I just let out all my aggression and sadness on a tree, and I just pushed that tree, I punched that tree, and so now I have my tree in the clinic. It's on the hill. It's the one that looks like it has a bunch of eyes on it. Bonding week was extremely special. I got to see my mom, and I got to completely apologize to her. And then she told me her pain that she had watching me. She told me that she was always scared that she'd come home and have me lying on the floor. And it was just a special moment because we finally were open to each other completely, because before we lived in a fake bubble of happiness. And then we went to my tree, and that just closed it off, which I really appreciate. Life now is pretty good. I mean, it took me a while to get used to being in my home sober as well, but I finally feel like I have real, actual friends, and those are the fellows. I feel like I can be completely myself. I don't have to be happy if I don't feel happy. I feel like I've actually found myself.